What is fate of E20 petrol? Government calls it a revolution. Experts call it a deception. The truth lies somewhere in between. Welcome to Closed Letter Analysis. We analyze today E20 petrol. Talk about one of the most debated policies in India's energy sector, E20 petrol. On paper, it looks like a dream, cleaner fuel, less dependence on foreign oil, and a greener environment. But in reality, E20 petrol seems more likely a political stunt than a practical solution. In this video, we will expose the flaws, the hidden cost, and the political agenda behind E20 petrol. What is E20 petrol? E20 petrol simply means a petrol blended with 20% ethanol and 80% fossil fuel based petrol. The government of India is aggressively pushing for its adoption by 2025. The states objectively include reducing crude oil import, supporting sugarcane farmers, cutting carbon emission, and presenting India as a global leader in a green energy. But the question we must ask is this really about saving the planet or just about saving the government's image? The ground reality is different. First issue is mileage drops. Car running on E20 petrol gives 6 to 8% lower fuel efficiency compared to regular petrol. That means more fuel consumption, higher spending by common citizen, and no real savings. The government promised savings, but the pump is draining our pockets faster. Energy damage and compatibility. The issue is more bigger. Majority of vehicles in India are not designed for E20 fuel. Prolonged use can crude engines damage fuel systems and increase maintenance cost. Automakers themselves admit that only new vehicles post 2023 are E20 compatible. So effectively, millions of existing car and bike owners are being forced into unnecessary cost. Third issue is food versus fuel debate. Ethanol in India mostly comes from sugarcane and food grains. Large-scale divisions of crops for ethanol means less food security and higher food inflation. When farmers are pushed to grow sugarcane for ethanol, what happened to wheat and rice crops? This is a question. This is a classical case of petrol from the rich, hunger for the poor. Issue number 4, water crisis. Sugarcane is a water guzzling crop. To produce just 1 liter of ethanol required 2,860 liters of water are consumed. In a country already facing groundwater depletion, in this policy sustainable? Question mark arises. They talk about green fuel, but the cost is a dry India. Issue 5. The carbon footprint myth. Government claims E20 will cut carbon emission by 20%. This is truth. What study shows the total life cycle emission from farming, fertilizer, transport to processing often cancel out the benefits. In short, E20 is not a green as it looks on glossy government advertisement. The political angle. Now let's look at the political dimensions of policy. E20 is less about science and more about political optics. The governments want to project itself as a climate conscious on global stage like COP summits. At home, it uses E20 to please sugarcane lobbies and farmer vote bank in states like Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. In simple words, say to this is a less on energy policy, more an election strategy. Even the timeline rushing for 2025 seems politically motivated. It's about showcasing big achievements before election, not about long-term planning. The issue next arises the economic burden on citizen. Vehicle we will need upgrades, fuel efficiency will drop, and maintenance cost will rise. Ultimately, it's a middle class consumer who pays the price. Irony is this: while the government claims E20 reduce oil imports, the actual import will doesn't shrink significantly because the ethanol production itself depend on costly subsidies and infrastructure. We are praying more at the pump today, only to clap for slogans tomorrow. E20 a false promise in a shiny bottle. Greenwashing at its best, politics disguised as environment. For the farmer, it's exploitation. For the consumer, it's inflation. E20 petrol, where every liter burn not just your engine but also your pocket. In name of environment, the government is fueling its politics. Conclusion. Conclusion of this whole deep discussion: E20 petrol in theory sounds like a step toward sustainability, but in practice it's exposes India's weak planning, lack of infrastructure, and political priorities. Instead of real investment in renewable energy like solar wind or EV infrastructure, the government is selling us in an illusion wrapped in a green branding. So the next time you hear a minister proudly talking about E20, remember this. It's not just about fuel for your cars. It's just about fuel for their politics. Thank you. Like and subscribe my channel and comment below about this deep discussion. Thank you.